about to begin. Since the greatest gang is now united, for everyone who is listening to this on YouTube, thank you for watching thus far, and welcome to another part of me reading The House in Fata Morgana. Today's stream is going to be a little longer. A few days later, Jacopo dragged the white-haired girl from her chamber and led her outside. The garden she had once loved was not a thing of the past, was now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary space, nary a rose in sight, and being taken there did nothing to improve her mood, only sadden her further. The cold grey piles of metal, freckling the barren earth, seemed to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacopo would not have it. He shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. How did things end up this way? Why? All I wanted was to go back to the way things used to be. For us to be able to smile around each other. It had been several days since Jacopo had locked her in the shed, and her day-to-day life was only growing more arduous. She was under constant surveillance. The door was only unlocked to deliver her meals, 3 times a day. And despite what an unfortunate situation their employer's wife found herself in, the maids chattered and gossiped and giggled. Not even in the shadows, out of her presence, tactless young maidservants whispered directly to the white-haired girl when they brought her meals. "Look at you, madame, caged away like cattle." I could almost hear the sound of cracks forming in her heart. I imagined she had gotten to the point where she was having difficulty merely holding herself together. She had done nothing wrong, and yet she was forced to live this life of insults and mockery, of ridicule. The only reason her tenuously held together spirit did not completely shatter was because she still had her one and only ally. The maid Maria volunteered to attend to the white-haired girl. Maria took over the duty of delivering her free meals, meaning the other maids stopped coming by. And that relieved the white-haired girl's mental and emotional stress considerably. Maria became her sole conversation partner, her sole companion. She did not leave as soon as meals were finished, instead remaining in the shed with the white-haired girl for some time. So, madame, how about a funny story? I flubbed up pretty hard the other day. You wanna hear about that? So a couple days back, I didn't get enough sleep the previous night, right? I'm helping out in the kitchen, half awake, plating up some food. And when I go to bring it out to the guests, my heart about leaps out of my mouth. Guess what? Why? What I thought was a plate was actually an ashtray. Man, I was sweating like a pig. The guests didn't seem to notice, but the other maids were pale as ghosts the entire time. Just about everyone had themselves a case of the vapors. I got quite the tongue lashing at the cleanup. Pretty funny, huh? Oh, did you? Sounds like it was a pretty bad day. Yeah. Hey, madame? I know there's not much point in telling you to cheer up right now, but I'm sure he won't keep you locked up forever. He's just a bit crabby for now. It will be alright. Although, I guess this is a bit drastic for a temper tantrum. I'm sorry, madame. If only I had pushed him a bit harder, if only I had a little more influence, you might not be in this situation. I thought I could be of some help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job of that. Of course, Maria, you absolutely are. Just your being here takes a great weight off my shoulders. Still though, I feel so worthless. Because I'm just a maid, I can't set you free. It's okay. I'm used to being imprisoned. What? What do you mean you're used to it? He never locked your door before. Oh, you're right. I'm not sure why, but I feel as though I've been in a similar predicament before, lacking freedom and contact with others for a long stretch of time. I'm sure it's simply the exhaustion getting to you, madame. No one should ever be used to living like this. Yes, I agree. And I pray things go back to the way they were soon. Has getting mad at him never crossed your mind? Getting mad? Yeah, you know, when he yells, you yell back. Let him know he's in the wrong. Never considered doing that? I guess you're not one to get angry, madame. Which would mean you're a better fit for the Holy Mother than me. Oh no. I do sometimes want to get angry. To tell you the truth, it's almost always going through my mind how if I did raise my voice, perhaps he would listen to what I have to say. But when I'm standing there in front of him and he starts shouting at me, I freeze up and end up not saying a word. I'm just such a pitiful woman. Everything about me. When I need to speak up most, to stand up for myself, I cannot. Oh, don't look so down. That's not a bad thing. It's just got you in a little bit of a pickle right now, but I'll clear everything up with him. Hear me? In my mind, your modesty is a virtue. And the more I think about it, I can't even imagine you screaming. I like you better the way you are, reserved and ladylike. You can leave all the yelling to me. I'll do whatever I can to help you, madame. Were you able to clear up his confusion about the night when we were dancing? Oh, about that. Sorry, you just wouldn't hear it. I see. But I'm not throwing in the towel. I'll keep trying as long as it takes. So... Say, Maria, could I perhaps ask another favor? Huh? Yeah, sure, let me have it. I would like to write him a letter. A letter? To someone who lives in the same house? Yes. As things stand, I cannot simply go visit him on a whim. And I feel as though I could calmly express on paper things I am unable to say to him face to face. I suspect I might have more luck that way. I also believe he would be more likely to maintain his composure reading my thoughts in a letter than hearing them from my mouth. With it, I can clear up all the confusion, and things can go back to the way they were. A letter, huh? Interesting. I'll write the letter which I would like you to deliver to him. May I ask that of you? Absolutely. Not a problem. Thank you, Maria. You are the only person I can count on, and I mean that. Why? How did this happen? Why would she betray me? I wanted to give her a decently happy life. I didn't want to get violent with her. Yet when I saw her face, when I heard what she had to say, I couldn't restrain myself. I guess what it comes down to is that no matter how you dress it up, I'm still a Bersati. There was never any way for this bloodline to give that girl happiness. God damn it. Why am I fretting over this nonsense? And I'm supposed to be the future head, huh? An illusion. But they're dancing. They really are. And they look like they are having a wonderful time. Are you sure this is an illusion and not something else? To me, it does not seem to be. I cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand and try to grab them. You won't be able to. Ah, you're right. That's a shame. I didn't think you actually would. But it's the most precious thing. They look as though they are dancing atop my palm. It's almost frightening how much innocence rests within those hands. It's as if they've been completely cut off from the world's filth. My hands, however, are soaked in blood. I fear that bringing her into my world may taint her. Am I capable of protecting this woman's purity? And yet, as I watched her so joyously playing, I felt as though I had gotten close to her. I was the one being a child that day. Jacopo, it's me, Maria. Is it all right if I come in? Oh, Maria. It's fine, come in. Alrighty. Color me surprised. I didn't think you'd let me in. Have I ever denied you access to my room? Nope. But you've been looking pretty glum lately. I've never exactly been a cheery man. True enough. I know you told me before not to talk about your wife, but I'm going to stick my nose where it doesn't belong today. There's been a lot of chatter among the maids lately about you getting rough with her. I mean, You've got the poor thing locked up in a shed outside. You're not leaving the best impression on anyone. You're here to box my ears. I don't know, 50-50. The other half is, I'm concerned about you. I know you're not the kind of man to threaten someone without a good reason. You're not. I thought you were friends with her. I am. And it hurts seeing her in so much pain. Then why has that not changed the way you act around me? I would think you'd be scorning me with the rest of the maids. I see how it is. You don't trust me. And we've known each other for so long. This isn't a question of whose side I'm on. You're in pain too. I can see that. You've always bottled things up, kept them hidden. You're too proud to rely on others, but you should probably vent to someone before it reaches the point where when you no longer can. Say, Jacopo, do you remember the promise we made a while back? How far back? Back when you were still shorter than me. You were 14 and I was 12. I had to leave town and you came to see me off. Quite frankly, I didn't think you'd come. I was surprised even if I didn't show it. Jacopo, where is your dad? Or are you here alone? He didn't even tell me. There is no reason you have to leave town. My old man says the Campanelas have more power. I should be the one leaving. It's not that simple. Grown-ups have a lot to consider. So don't give me that look, Jacopo. We were kids, but we both kind of started to catch on to the situation with our families and to the bonds that the land held on us. Although we didn't know any of the details at the time, my grandpa owned all the land the city was built on, but he was a very conservative man. He didn't try to spread his influence, instead opting to fortify what he already had. I don't know exactly when it first started, but organizations were used to administrate cities. And when we were kids, my dad was the capo familia, and my grandpa his consigliere. But just because he was an advisor didn't mean he was powerless. While my dad made the decisions, my grandpa was the only one allowed to fight him on them. Your father was a capodecina. I'm sorry if I butchered any of those words, but yeah, I'm just gonna read it one more time. Your father was a capodecina that served under my dad. He wasn't especially happy about that. But parents quarreling doesn't affect their kids, or at least that's what I thought at the time, and what you probably thought too. But there was still a chance we could be caught in the crossfire, so my dad decided to send me and my mom away, off the island and to the north where some more prosperous areas. He thought that by sending us there, we could live our lives clean, regardless of where we came from. There's no changing what's in your blood, though. You could have told me too. Or were you planning on leaving without saying anything? No, it was just all decided so quickly. Why do you sound so accepting? Adults have a lot to consider? You bet they do, but you could at least let them know you're opposed to it, Maria. But no, your tail went straight between your legs as soon as they were told. As soon as you were told. But you just gave up and accepted it straight away. I thought you were better than that. You you think I didn't know that. But I'll just be in my dad's way if I stay. I'm a kid, a girl. I wouldn't be of any help if something happened. And I don't want to need someone to protect me. I've never once thought of you as a girl. Hey now, that's mean. Oh jeez, thanks Jacopo. Now you're getting me all mushy too. If anyone should be sad here, it's me. I am not sad. Oh really? You sure you're not actually torn that I won't be around anymore? You're a huge crybaby after all, Jacopino. Hey, when have I ever cried? And don't call me that. I made you mad. Short fuse as ever, I see. You've got to learn to keep your head. You're a man, and heir to the Berzetti family. Don't you lecture me. It's so pig-headed. You could at least listen to me this once, before I'm gone. Hey, Maria, got a little time to spare? Sure, but not much. The carriage is gonna be here soon. Do you have enough for a trip to the hill and back? Yeah, I should have time for that. Because of our families, we weren't really able to get along with the other kids in the city, so we played a lot up at the top of the hill. It became kind of like our little secret lair. There was an abandoned house up there, I guess an old farmhouse or something, and kids love that sort of thing, you know? We called it Casa Nostra, our home, and we pretended it was actually ours. We drew circles on the wall in chalk and used it for target practice. We brought up a bale of straw and used it to make makeshift beds. When either of us got into fights with our parents, we'd stay the night here instead of home. In retrospect, I'm sure they knew where we were going and just let us do our thing. Oh yeah, there was this one time we were playing and a huge storm rolled in, trapping us up there. The wind wasn't just howling, it was screaming bloody murder. It was blowing so hard I thought the house might fly away. As I recall, you were crying that night. Hey Nero, you here to see me off too? Ah, there you go, wagging your tail with that dumb look on your face. You have no idea what's going on, do you? It wasn't just the two of us who had made Casa Nostra our home base, though. There was one more, a stray black dog. I'm pretty sure it didn't have actually black fur, though, and it was just really. I'm pretty sure it didn't have actually black fur though. It was just really dirty. Of course he doesn't. He's a stupid animal. And don't talk about him like that. He's one of us. What were you planning to do about Nero? Just leave him behind? Nothing else I can do. Okay, since Yama reminded me, I'm going to hydrate myself. Thank you, Yama. can't bring a dog in the carriage. Besides, you're here, so it'll be fine. You take care of Nero, alright? He doesn't like me. You're the only one who can take care of him. Maybe so, but I'm not coming back. He'll starve to death if you don't figure out something. He's a puny runt. I doubt he could win in a fight for scraps. Come on, do it for me. You said you won't be coming back. Did you mean that? Are you absolutely never returning to this town? There's no telling what may or may not happen, so it's best not to get your hopes up. Better that than the pain of getting let down. Well, I've turned into quite the cynic, huh? Maybe if I'd been born into a more normal family, I'd be in my room in a pile of dolls right about now, my head in the clouds. I can't imagine you doing that, nor do I think that's normal. Well said. Oh, hey, stop that, Nero. Quit licking me. That tickles, and you reek. Maria. What is it? Come back. I don't care if you don't know when it will be. Just don't say you'll never return. No one knows how things are gonna end up. Maybe my old man will gain more power, or maybe yours will. If things continue as they are, it will be your old man. Your old man. Then down the line, it will work in service of the Campanella family. And that's just fine by me. But even if that's not the future that lies ahead, I promise I will make a place for you. So Maria, question. Do you have a crush on me? What? Kidding. I'm just kidding. No need for a conniption fit. I was just playing around. Here I am, trying to have a serious conversation, and then you... Listen to me. I don't have any of those, those kinds of feelings for you. I consider you a lifelong friend. My only one and only friend. That's why I came to see you off, and that's why I'm telling you this now. Whether you're a girl or a boy is irrelevant. Friendship lasts much longer than something so fanciful as romance. Am I wrong? Don't laugh, damn it. It's humiliating. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I agree entirely. Yeah, we've always been on the same page, Jacopo. Maybe we did fight a lot, but there wasn't one we didn't get through. No one else understood just how lonely it was, wearing a mask for all the other kids, trying to fit in to their happy little circle. We couldn't afford to be found out, after all. Neither of us had any real allies, except for each other, of course. Nope. I'm glad I got the chance to play with you. If you hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't have bothered caring for Nero either. It was too funny watching him chase you around. You're a sick girl, Maria. So hey, Jacopo, this place will still be Casa Nostra, even after I leave, right? You won't do anything to it, will you? Of course not. This is our home. That was always the plan. Right, thanks. Though, you being all nice is kinda creepy, Jacopo. It's not gonna start snowing, is it? How rude. Well, if you're gonna be like that, I'm not sure if I want to give it to you. Huh? Give what? A present? You should have said so sooner. Gimme, gimme. You don't have a shred of tact, do you? What's it matter? Come on, what do you bring? Let me have it, soldier. Oh, Maria. Consider this a temporary parting gift. You'd been waiting one of these for a while, wanting these for a while. Oh, is that a cartridge? From a Colt Navy? No way! Did you swipe it? I'll probably catch hell for it too. Wow, whoa! This is amazing! I always wanted to get my hands on the real thing. This is from the one hanging up in your house, isn't it? The one your dad was bragging about. They just started selling them this year, and it's ridiculously hard to get your hands on one, or so I hear. Man, guns from the New World are something else, alright. Oh, just imagining the moment the hammer comes crashing down on the back of this sends chills down my spine. Are you sure you're a girl going crazy over a bullet cartridge? What's the big deal? I like what I like. You'll get in trouble if you don't put this back, though, won't you? Don't worry, I'll return it when you return. And I won't tell anyone I gave it to you. Okay. Well, I guess I'll take you up on that, then. Thanks, Jacopo. It'll be my treasure. This goes without saying, but don't you lose it. I'm giving it to you as a symbol of our friendship. No matter how far apart we may be, and how much time may pass, or how things play out with our families, we'll always be friends. That cartridge symbolizes that promise. It's a promise, Jacopo. Our families may outwardly hate each other, but I'll always be your friend, always be on your side. And don't you ever go back on those words. I swear upon this glorious cartridge, this historic land, and the names of my ancestors, I shall not make myself a liar. I trust you, Maria. We'll meet again. It may be many years from now, but that won't change a thing. Our friendship will never fade. God, you were adorable back then. And short to boot. But now, you've hardened so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you. Dressed all fancy from head to toe. You'd become quite the smug little bastard, I'd thought. You sure weren't that little kid anymore. You have quite the memory. Well, yeah, I don't forget my promises. And I'd never forget I said I'd always be on your side. The question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. Though it is quite some distance away now. I imagine if we went back and did a little work on it, we could have it looking just like old times. And Nero. About a year after he left, he suddenly disappeared. And just for the record, I did take care of him, as you told me to. I'm guessing he got in a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but could never find him. Oh well, it has been more than a decade. Not everything gonna be exactly the same. You, however, haven't changed a bit from a girl you were all those years ago. Neither have you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at your core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacopino. Could you not call me that. I have changed quite a bit, like you, and I am well aware of that. Say, Jacopo, do you consider me supportive? Of everything you could have said, of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You are proof of the existence of a kind of friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other such distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without just stick up your ass. Wow, harsh words. Come on now, hear me out. You almost had me blushing there. Anyway, before you put that stick back up there, tell me something. Am I still your only ally? You are. Of everyone in this mansion, I'm the only one. Yes. If she would at least have a little more... to Madame. I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. I mean, from a girl's perspective, what you did is pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl, according to you anyway. I will always be on your side no matter what. God, I feel as though I'm being consoled. That's what I was going for. I should have never opened up to you. Hey, now is probably not the best time to bring this up, but I have a letter. A letter? Written by the Madame, here. A letter from my wife? Let me see it. What the hell am I reading? I was considering keeping the secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might only hurt you more, so I decided it was best to show you. Who is this? Who's this letter for? It's as if, but that can't... I love you. Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacopo, and listen to me. The Madame is having an affair. I haven't changed a bit. If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that. Acting. Much like I do around you. Our friendship will never change. What a fucking joke. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in. And they call you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, it's suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine Maria. Sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just thinking about it. You're telling me she wrote this. Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from the gatherings. I had the rose garden torn down. And yet still, she finds other men. I warned her, told her it wouldn't happen again, that if she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. Jacopo... Out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter's about, who this man is. And depending on how she answers, I may have to... Hold it, Jacopo, calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me, relax. You try to talk to her right now and you aren't going to get anywhere. You're aware of just how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask. Of course not. And she may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but... Not a bad person. The woman who wrote this letter to another man. She crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Koska. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's plain as day. It will only make bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening when she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacopo, could you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madame, you know that. She'll listen to me. So I'll make sure it gets through to her. Just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. That's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, you're right. And I'm well aware that I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything works out, got it? You and the madame can go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain, and I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria... Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino. Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know that even if she is seeing other men, and even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her. That I don't want to raise my hand against her. You love her. That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. Quite a little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems would be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madame. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives me goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Would he not take it? Oh no, he took it, just, Don't feel too bad about this, madame. He said he's too busy with work, and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to say this, madame. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read a letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure he really is busy. He did not throw it away though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madame, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that the day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madame, so, could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? I have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him. Something tells me that it will all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madame. I'll have faith. Thank you. I would like to write another letter. When it is complete, could I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. You really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madame. Take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria. I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh God, I can't hold back the law of terror. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself, but that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shot to the last, blind to whose finger is sitting on the trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madame meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden. The far side's out of sight from the mansion, making it a perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madame is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings. and they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof. So it would be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusations only to find out too late it was all a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, so I think the Madame might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of this house after all. What? You want to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. With so much going so well, it makes me think even God's on my side. They could just talk it over with one another, but they won't. And they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my God, it was perfect! Hey Jacopo, I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the Madame. Like she's been on edge or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You were going out to survey a construction site today, right? Then I'd suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance at this time of night. Yep, and since it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for... We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacob was out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is this smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath, red as beets. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. Oh, and I was able to put that perfume to great use. That money-sucking leech Tommaso showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Oh, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky at who it is. Little Miss Panella. There's a surprise. Didn't expect to see you this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Huh. Well, color me impressed. After what happened, I would have thought you'd want nothing to do with him. It was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, would sure be nice for all you younger generation to go through life without nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So, what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little... you know how it is. Having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Ah, I see. So you're here to beg for offerings. Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with the chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being human altogether. Are we that hard for cash? Unfortunately, numbers were supposed to go up. But for some reason they ended up going down instead. Might be best if you kick the gambling habit. Now. That's like telling me to go off myself. I bet. So say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too. Oh, you mean it? That would be a huge help. There is seriously not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fists. Depending on the number, I could also possibly cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a low life like me can do. It'll be easy, and it's nothing bad either. You're going to talk to Jacopo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know, he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so. Sounds like she's got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Normally yes, but it's reached a point where I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. I'm not important right now. You're doing the right thing. But the thing is, Jacopo won't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close though. Okay, another hydration moment. Excuse me. And I doubt he hates you. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking something anyone can do. So, what do you want me to tell him? I need you to give him a bit of a scolding. Tell him the madame came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let slip that the way he treats her day to day causes her grief. I've never met this wife of his before, you know. It works even better that way. She's so downtrodden, she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She's never met you, but she's still latched onto the ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacopo finds out she brought it up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with him. I can't guarantee it will change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Oh right, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madame as a gift. If he won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If Big Bad Jacopo gives her some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Never thought that they'd come when I got to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kinda excited about this. Stay focused, Tommaso, and thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. Their relationship's in complete shambles. And Jacopo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madame says she still believes in him. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo. Poor madame. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls to next. And how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I'll be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. I wonder if I should keep you guys on your toes and just leave the rest of this third door for the next stream. Because the scene has not yet happened. But now I told you guys that this will be a longer stream, so we will reach it. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time, I too believed that Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then I now know how the tale ends, you say. Yes, that is correct. Well, aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my. I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I wanted you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him, and her desire for their relationship to return to what it had once been. My beloved, I am sure your hands are quite full right now, but that is fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was perhaps the most wonderful day of my life. I had truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave to me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little further away, and we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite, personally. Do I perhaps have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Again, another letter. Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters looked like professions of love for another man. The more she inscribed of her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him, I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking. I knew it. You have been going out with another man, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave to me. God's sake. You have to be fucking kidding. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time, she'll let go, and so will he. Listen to me. Resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering. But when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never gonna get a response though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these or your love to get to him. I could just stop reading them. it would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to this another man, and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered, without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the texts when he was alone. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient's name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone who had lived as isolated a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited for so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters, day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had, by and large, run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there is a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, you have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you. I imagine you would have with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition. Oh, that's right. There was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention, since it was supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. And while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I had never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man. Has this been going on for that long? You had simply stepped up and taken action. Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to another misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have all been unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I feel as though I have now, at long last, come to understand just what kind of man Jacopo was. Well, he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities. He had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he'd had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully. Where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any such thing, of course. But Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread, and were to reach the Cosca? The fate of the Bersatis is in your hands, son. There is a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And not just this family, this whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capofamiglia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. And I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of Bersati family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly. It would be madness not to hurry, given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Bersati name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're going to have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money, power, yes. Those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to allow a Capofamiglia they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through the forest. And once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancée is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. And never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Berzati is in your hands. The fate of this land rests upon your shoulders. Poverty is the root of all evil. I must keep intercepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I cannot allow anyone to learn about how she's disgraced me. Kill her. That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not yet. God damn it. It's downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Fuck. Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir. Damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you. Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That way. Hey, speak up. Die, Jacopo Berzati. Master. There is a knife in your stomach. Oh God, someone, anyone. Silence. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. He put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world is going white. Come on now. You have to be kidding. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man of a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means nothing, means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man. Who actually wants to go through life being laughed at? I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she had never even met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. But because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. I didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous, and crucially, she was smiling at me. I had expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes. But instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. Oh, I feel nauseous. Okay, let me make a short break for hydration. And can you guys catch up Yama with what's happening right now? I don't know how long she's been away from keyboard. Okay, let's go. What time is it? Wait a second. Okay. The world's a blur. So hot. You mustn't get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of... Pardon? Oh, I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand? Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this. Your hand is quite cold. Probably feels that way because of your fever. Oh. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I had been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you like. I felt like I had finally found you, but I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is yours. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. It was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. She would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. Jacopo, may I come in? I have another letter. The white-haired girl's persistent letters did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed, and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. It's pointless, madame. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. No. I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep waiting, eventually I will get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madame? Jacopo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and as beautiful as you. He says, I am a witch. Listen to me, madame. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. But last year, when you went out together, he gave me the Fenakis wheel and the photography shop. He had the owner make it especially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a proper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume, a nice dress. Something women really like. Has he ever gotten you anything like that? He doesn't have any feelings for me. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madame. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me kinda doesn't actually want you to slip up. Despite knowing you staying with him just causing you pain. You've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep waiting, keep writing, and I will not divorce him. He'll write. So please, keep delivering my letters to him. You are my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh yes, one more thing. If it is not too much trouble, could you tell me how he has been and what he has been doing lately? I do not have much else to write about, so if I could at least relieve him of some of his work-related stress. I am his wife after all. I should be able to do that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, and her spirit was breaking down. It is said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting, or of fervently believing for so many months, despite the object of one's affections not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be. With enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. It's pointless, Jacopo. Wait all you want. You won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel. But God Almighty, Is it only how she looks? You've changed a bit. What? Have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madame. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family name to good use. To put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madame has never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I'm sure she felt very alone. And so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So, without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly and without a fuss. It will be easier for you that way. I cannot. Because you still love her. That's wonderful, Jacopo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it is a foolish and unhealthy obsession, but I still do not wish to sever ties with her. I cannot get the image of her smile out of my head. The look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the phenakistoscope. Those captivating eyes beneath the veil at our wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you always have been kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart, despite how you may look. That's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There is nothing but pain in it for you now. But all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry. If you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other man. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. Continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. This time I'm planning to facing her myself. You serious, Jacopo? Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find out that my wife is being unfaithful. And by locking her up away from anyone else, the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later, word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done. And I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you go see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it's reached a point where until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then. Break the ice? Right. If you've got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it will reduce some tension, make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. The Transcontinental Railroad you've been funding. That's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes, it is. There'll be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it. And then you can invite her to ride the first train. You've put your heart and soul into this project, and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that's ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across the massive continent, carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it too? Right. Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which makes long trips difficult. But this new rail system should make them much less draining. It would allow me to show her the world. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It will go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Oh god, my fucking sides. Seriously, they're goddamn riots, both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. Oh my god, Maria, you're terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary's rolling in her fucking grave. Now, I must say, I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. Shame that... The squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity, is a better role for you. They do end up figuring it out. Tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my kind of steel's a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. No matter how this plays out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're going to get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria, oh, there you are. What is it? I'm on a break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, headmaid's saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did, I cleaned it. Just a casual once over, but hey. Well, do it again and do it right this time. Cause if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn. I mean it! You take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time. I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. Or for God's sake, why should I have to be the one to tell her? Is she gone? What a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar is clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there. Yeesh. I guess I should take care of it. Better that than a tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did I have to be a maid anyway? What a dunk place. It's so dark and humid down here. That makes me feel gross. Someone there. Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? Came from farther in. Whoa. It's seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? Well, clean the whole thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Disgusting. Ugh, damn cobwebs. Oh god, oh dear god, I do not want to clean this. Ow! Oh, for God's sake. Stack this stuff properly. Now, I've gotta fix this whole mess. Oh, for the love of... Huh? What's this? Something carved into the floor. Never noticed this before. Someone got bored one day. What do we have here? It's mostly illegible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native language. But it's not modern, it's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it's illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls, for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should you mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house, but not I. Wouldn't a witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting look like mine? It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. Nope. Forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real. Just a tasteless prank. Just silly. There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has that always been here? Huh? White hair. Fair skin. Is that the madame? But then... why is the face all torn up? And her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. Writing on the floor and this painting. What is with this house? It's just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Jacobo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. What was that? Um, is someone there? The door is open? Nobody's there. What's this? A painting? Who could have left it here? Huh, is that me? Why, but my face, it's been cut. No. Why would someone have this painted? Just to do this? Who would who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear. Like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. No, I am not. I am not. Was it you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me to that extent? Why do you... What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? All I am doing is waiting for you, you worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need of a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. Then say goodbye to your freedom. I'll kill you. Does the mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I can wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There is no end. No, I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart and soul into is complete. When the railroad opens, I will be finished waiting. And then it's over. The Pacific Railroad's last spike ceremony was drawing nearer by the day. That day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves, Jacopo to confront his wife and the white-haired girl to wait for him. And it's time for a hydration break. I sensed no lag myself, but if it lags for anyone else, then well, I'm sorry. Okay. And as the day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote the letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I expect that she could not stop, that the act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain her grip on herself. But that day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was completed, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They would return to the smiling, happy couple they had been when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I patiently awaited the railroad's opening ceremony. I do not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune, and that goes for you as well, master. Now, master, the door is soon to be shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens next? I see. Very well. Then allow us to make our way to that final day. See with your own eyes, master, how this tale concludes. And please, do not let go of my hand. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but a surety in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her, said heartless and cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable, even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not, in fact, taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they would never reconcile their misunderstandings, and that this predicament would not have a positive resolution, but he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With that desire burning strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. "Are you awake? It's me, Jacopo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I would like to have a calm, rational conversation, and as such I will not enter your room until you have given me your permission. So may I please come in?" "You won't even give me a response. All right. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine, then you don't have to let me in. But please at least hear me out. Do you remember the day shortly after we first met, when we went on our honeymoon, if you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon? I was unable to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. And yes, I know that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean the more perturbed I get. I'm sure I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the phenakistoscope, you smiled for me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that was actually an appropriate present for a noble woman like yourself. Jewels or flowers or something like that, something beautiful, would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that, but I assumed you would have been given gifts like that countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special, and I wanted to be unique for you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenakistoscope at all. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. That if just for a moment I caught your eye, even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was, at its core, nothing but an arrangement between our parents, an exchange of money and influence. That was how it began, but that day I loved you. I yearned to see you smile, as if I had loved you my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been completed. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they are planning on doing a gun salute, and the sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will be transmitted across the country via telegraph. I have procured a telegraph, so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you would probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station. But here, you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I have made arrangements to make that possible for you because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing tomorrow to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why? Why will you not answer me? Say something, anything. Please, please. You can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door is not locked. Who opened it? Hello? A humid spring breeze brushed against his cheeks. The drawn lace curtains appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you gone? Stupefied, he glanced about his wife's chambers. To my eyes, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day. But to his eyes it was pale and hollow. For the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in the shed. In its place echoed a dry rustling. A sad, pitiful, empty whisper of a noise. It came from a lone object left abandoned atop her desk. A phenakistoscope. It was the one present Jacopo had ever given the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. When spun and viewed in a mirror, it created the illusion of a man and woman dancing. You still had this? That's ridiculous. I assumed you had thrown it out. The white-haired girl had evidently made considerable use of the phenakistoscope. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, warped in places, and had even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling and rustling and rustling, spinning in an endless reminder of that day the year before, though there was no longer anyone around to look through it. Why? But you were with other men. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so worn. Why? A letter. Beneath the ever-rotating phenakistoscope lay a single sheet of paper. As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacopo. Salutation written in his native language, translated as follows: My beloved Jacopo. Did the fruits of your dream turn out as you had hoped? I am sure it was wonderful and impressively fast. A train that can travel across a continent as large as this is like something out of a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. I'm sure it would have been quite pleasant, like the day you gave me the Fenakis wheel. Am I being presumptuous? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought I would keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated or ignored me. But I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I would wait for you until the railroad was completed. I foolishly thought that you might invite me to the opening ceremony, but it seems I am not good enough for you. I am going to take my leave of your house, so you needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget about all the letters I wrote. Think back on them from time to time. Do not burn them all, for they contain my thoughts, my feelings, my words, a record of my love for you. Remember when you can that I was always watching you. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. There is a voice whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision is blurred. I'm not even sure what is going through my mind. I'm sorry this was all. I was able to write for you. I'm truly sorry. I will leave this Fenakis wheel behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell. I loved you. 8th of May, 1869. What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the Transcontinental Railroad's opening ceremony, the letters she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love to him, and above all, the mangled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. You waited for me. How can that be? The joining ceremony is tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you, just as I planned. The ceremony is on the 10th. A second later, Jacopo gasped. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on May 8th, 1869. However, Due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. This can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria... Maria. The Madame is having an affair. Maria... No, you couldn't. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness. And though the letters had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. In one letter she had mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo had assumed it meant a gift from another man, but in fact she had been referring to the phenakistoscope sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last, he finally made that connection. And at the same time he realized that the only person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted, Maria. She never even once betrayed me. She was not unfaithful at all. She waited unwaveringly for me, and I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again. But his realizations came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. He had caught on to Maria's machinations sooner. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they had. But he was much too late. Maria, why? Why would you do this? Clenching the letter from his wife, Jacopo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. But she was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! Several maids were roused from their slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up as the master of the house frantically charged through the halls. Eventually, he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had closed the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room, he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened the door, there he saw comfortably perched upon his own chair a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. Nice room you got there. Though I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All these fancy furnishings. You do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me, I get that barren little maid's room. Drives me up the wall. So hey, Jacopo. Clear the air with your little lady yet. Maria! I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then. You know, good and well. And she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know? I want to hear from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman. So you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Go on, say something. Climb back on your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to end things, but then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are smiling down upon me, I guess. Nonsense. She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony. And I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. What, do you think I'd just tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you've got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, is that how you've always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? Must be nice living in your little fantasy world, Jacopo. And this is the next Capofamiglia. Oh my god, my sights. So you've always hated me. At the very least, I fucking loathed you since the minute we had our reunion. At first, I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it feel any less unfair though. You had all your money and all your power and everything else you stole from me. And then you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady. Oh, don't try to act like you're the victim here. This is all on you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace. Made your goddamn maid. Having to suck up to you. Do you have any idea how infuriating that was? Or did you think I didn't know anything? Did you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, then you've got your head way up in the clouds. So you're motivated by your grudge against my family, the Berzatis. Precisely, that's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the Capofamiglia, wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. They say it was a carriage accident, but the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. You wanna tell me what kind of carriage accident causes it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as Capofamiglia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family and anyone with ties to the Campanellas was either exterminated or exiled. The Berzatis took control of the city. My grandpa's Koska became your Koska. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Berzatis didn't have a hand in that. The great Campanella family, bitten by their pet dog. Except the dog had rabies. And as a result, in time, that lush, historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried-up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? And now, first in line to be next Capofamiglia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, don't it? Slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud. While you live here like a fucking king. Because of what your family did, I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige, I have nothing left. And that's goddamn outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city, but instead, you filthy Bersati curse are crawling over it like some kind of infestation. I'm a legitimate Campanella, and I'm stuck being your goddamn maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have become the Capofamiglia after my dad and grandpa died. But because I'm a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit on my hands and watch the tragedy unfold. It was absolutely miserable, so I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you as... no, I had to make you as twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her part of this? Did you have some grudge against her too? Not particularly. I actually rather liked the madame. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy. Now, can you really call me out for that? You can't. You have no right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They are all footstools to you. It's a little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you two just had a single conversation. But instead, the both of you came crawling to me, saying, "You're my only ally, Maria. How dense can you be?" Of course, I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure you did too, Maria. Then you should get your eyes examined, because you can't see a damn thing. Maria. Oh God, it was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstanding and causing your own pain. How you could never seem to get on the same page. Watching it all fall apart. Maria, is that everything? The extent of your grudge and all you did? Oh, yep, that's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you. Hold still now, I wouldn't want to miss. Maria, does our past mean nothing to you? Was that oath just an empty promise? How could it, when you remember so clearly? Fine, I'll explain it for our little romantic boy. But grown-ups will even take advantage of good memories. It's time I finally return this to you, Jacopo. The cartridge you gave me, packed with your disgusting sentimentality. Killing you ain't the end, though. All you Bersati curs. I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge has just begun. Even if you had been a man, you wouldn't have been a suitable capofamilia. You should have aimed between my eyes, Maria. Jacopo! Oh! Why? Why? In a panic, I pulled the trigger, and from the barrel a bullet went flying. Quite literally, right between her eyes. Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? The rain just keeps on coming. Wonder if we'll be able to go home today. Hey, Jacopino! Say something, you little wuss. Don't shout. You're gonna give me a headache. The lighting's way louder than me. Oh! You jumped, Jacopino. You're such a baby. You jumped too. And stop calling me that. Don't be scared. Don't cry. Not crying. Your eyes are damp too. Not crying, not at all. Not one bit. Liar. There's no end to this rain, is there? I'm fine if it doesn't stop. There's nothing at home for me. You don't want to go home. Your parents don't get along, huh? That's got nothing to do with it. Liar. You've got it good. Everyone loves your grandpa. Whenever anyone needs something, they come to him. Now, there is a great man. Huh? How would my grandpa become part of this? Oh, no reason. Not everyone likes him. He gets just as much hate as love. Grandpa's not really a model citizen. He's mostly just shrewd. Are you jealous? I'm not. My old man is though. Is he now? Well, your dad's got his good points too, I think. Like, I don't know. He seems like the kind of man who can accomplish big things. Though he seems a lot stricter than my grandpa. Oh, come on. I don't get you. What are you clamming up for? No reason. If you don't want to go home, then how about we go somewhere far away from here? Huh? Once it stops raining, let's get out of here. Head up to the capital, find some work. We could make it work, the two of us. Oh, and we'll bring Nero, of course. If we could, that would be nice. But break free of the city and its outdated traditions. Head somewhere bigger, more forward-thinking. If only it were possible. It's all right, Maria. I know you were just joking. We wouldn't be able to find work anyway. If the two of us run off, we'd be starving in a month. You'd have to be blind not to see that. Right. Let's go home once the rain lets up. Yeah, once it does. But until then, I know, let's sing. Sing even louder than the lightning. Maybe he'll stop crying, Jacopino. Maybe you'll stop crying, Jacopino. I'm not crying. Come on, let's sing. Well, Maria is singing. And Jacopo is too. Maria, I may not put it into words, but I trust you understand that I consider you a dear friend. Listen to me, Jacopo. My actions were justified. I did what I did for the betterment of this city, this land. The Campanellas are too conservative. Under their control, this country will atrophy. Progress will continue to lose steam. If we don't push forward, we'll fall farther and farther behind. Before long, you will be made the next Capofamiglia, but until that day, you will cross over to the New World and establish the Cosca there. Unify us, bolster us, make us strong. I'll handle things back here. I won't let the Campanellas try and strike back. What? You want Maria to... It's dangerous to keep a Campanella so close by. She has to be taken care of. If you insist. But do not let your guard down. Betrayal is a constant companion in this world. I am giving you my revolver. Keep it on you at all times. Glory everlasting upon our blood, and upon this earth. The best I can give you is a job as my maid. If I show you any more obviously preferential treatment, the Berzatis are liable to step in. Money, power, respect, and enough authority to not take orders from anyone. I thought that if I could obtain all that, I would be able to give you your freedom. And her as well. I wanted to give you both comfortable lives. But none of that got through to either of you. Everything slipping through my fingers. Her love, my friendship with Maria, both of their smiles. Master, master! What was that sound? Oh, so much blood. Maria! What happened this time? You keep getting stuck witnessing the worst things. What? What? Call a doctor. Someone with tight lips. Do not call the police. And don't make a scene, got it? If so, then go on. Yes, sir. Right, not everything has slipped from my grasp. My money and influence and all that's left. That is what you wanted, though, is it not? You sought money and power now. Aren't you going to go? Yes, I will. But first I would like to ask you something. What do you intend to do from here? What am I gonna do? Exactly the same as before. There is but one thing for me to do. I see. Will you eventually find solace in your riches? The way I see it, money and power can be your ally, but they can become your enemy in the blink of an eye. If you do not put them into words, your feelings will never make it through to anyone. For unlike money, humans are not measurable by their appearance. He failed to communicate to anyone what he held within his breast. He was chained down by his place in society, his pride, his relationships, his own heart. And at some point he found himself in a position where he was no longer able to speak his mind. After enough time, he likely forgot how to be genuine at all. Or perhaps someone like him simply would not, even if they knew how. In any event, there are many things in this world that cannot be communicated without being put into words. How sad that his tale should end without him expressing how he truly felt. How hard it must have been to never clear up his misunderstandings. After Jacopo's confrontation with Maria, the Pacific Railroad was completed as scheduled. Celebratory cheers shook the new world as the last spike was driven into the rails. Jacopo, however, could not even manage a smile listening to the telegraph. And I am sure you can take a guess as to why. The people with whom he wished to share that moment were not there. Shortly following her death, Jacopo held a private funeral for Maria. Then he commenced a search for the white-haired girl. But he did not do so alone. He hired others to help, did everything in his power to find her, tirelessly searching for many years. However, he never was able to locate her, and he spent the remainder of his life alone. Money, power, renown, servants. The world around him was always quite lively. But solitude was his own companion. He waited and he waited for the white-haired girl to return. The years crawled by, and with no family or loved ones at his side to care for him in old age, he died alone. And that concludes door 3.
I'm feeling like starting the next door.
Next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, That was great. I love the third door very much. Mm. I'm sorry. I just love the music. That's all. Yeah, it is not exactly 100% horny. Can I have some water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So about this visual novel being kinetic or not. Hmm. The the choices in this game are scarce and minor. Um, I wouldn't say this is. No, I am not streaming Dark Souls today. I'm sorry. Mm, thank you very much. Um, I I think I don't really like choices in my visual novels. I think they often make the story just kind of pointless. If if it can branch out so much, then is there even gravity to what's happening? I cannot feel it with many choices that would make the story branch out. I mean, if you write a story and and you make it branching, does you will sure make them like some of them will be like getting more attention from you than the others as you write them, I think. And without continuity between them, it just gets a little true. Although that's the point. Like if there is a true route, then what's the point of the other routes? That's my that's my hot take. Yeah, because most visual novels um, that don't have branches actually have like hidden kind of branches that is like repetition of certain themes or stuff that just happens again in most visual novels. The kinetic ones, I think. It just, but it's still continuous. You go through like certain events, but with um, different kind of flavor. Exactly. I am just, believer in like if a character is supposed to be like a side character or a background character, just flesh it out as it is in that area, and it doesn't need a special route for for itself. Just make it happen with just one continuous route. Or, I mean, yeah, just let them have spotlight in the true route. Because some people are just not gonna end up reading all the routes. And, I am no completionist in like pretty much any game. It just doesn't do anything for me. So for me, the best way you can do this is and it's just personal. It's selfish. I just prefer when it's really straight a straight road through the story. And yeah, Umineko is amazing. The visual novel. The anime is reportedly a good place to start and get excited for the thing, but the visual novel is where it hits. It's where it bangs. It's where it slaps. It's the thing to experience. It's still, to this day, my favorite thing in this world. So yeah, I invite you to play it and finish it. It's well worth reading. Okay, well, yeah. I would stream it from PS5, but the fucking publishing problems just cannot give us the English release on consoles. So I am bound to stream other visual novels. Although I really, really like Fata Morgana. I think it's like there are certain things, certain visual novels that for me are very close to certain aspects of Mineko. And The House in Fata Morgana is one such visual novel. It almost makes me think that it's like an Umineko love letter. But I cannot confirm that in any way. I just think it does look like it's inspired by Umineko. I could be totally wrong, though. Another thing that that really healed my heart after finishing Umineko was Ace Attorney series. It's like it tickles your brain in the area Umineko always did. It just makes you figure out the culprits all the time. Although it admittedly is a shonen version of that. It's the villain of the day kind of deal. Yeah, I don't wanna go into detail quite yet about what I think makes this visual novel really, in my opinion, a love letter. I mean, there are themes you already see that are very reminiscent of Mineko in my mind, but yeah, it's just really written very good. I love how they play with perspective and all that, and especially in Door 2. I think it's very, very clever how they did Door 2. Although I am quite a big fan of the last scene in Door 3, and Maria's okay. Maybe I overhyped Door 3, but I just love the music there, man. I love the music. It just hypes me up. Yeah, but I'm sorry for just, sitting here talking to you. Maybe I am just, taking too much of your time already without actually reading. But I just wanted to talk to you guys. But yeah, Verk is still hard at work with her MA thesis. So the Dark Souls and other streams are still postponed until further notice. But yeah, the visual novel streams are intact, and we will meet next weekend. So be prepared for that. And yeah, Bring your weekend snacks and join me another time. Hydrate yourself with me next week on Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. Central European time. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. And have a great Sunday.